I'm Mike Hayne, and I'm talking to you. Today is Saturday, October 14th, 2023, 3 p.m., 15 miles east of the Las Vegas Strip, in a rooming house, which is a mobile home in an over 55 community that they have partitioned off into rooms to rent out individually to poor people. I pay $385 per month from my Social Security check, which is in retirement, which is $932. So it works out okay. But if a person lives in a rooming house like this, the person has to contend with the other people. And that's the big issue in the United States right now. I wrote this book talking to myself in 2021. I used an Amazon Fire tablet, a 10-inch Amazon Fire tablet, which is nice. It cost $100 in those days. It costs about $150 now. And a person can set it up so they can videotape themselves, as I'm doing now. In talking to myself, I made honest videos and I suggested this in the book. If you go out every day with your family, your friends, your co-workers, your schoolmates, and it's just, they're having thousands of students. I would say, let's just say between the age of 10 and 21 students in the United States. Thousands of them that commit suicide. And my book, Talking to Myself, could help them. It's a nightmare to talk to the other people. You freak out. And you realize one thing, you're alone. And it's like Devil's Island. And you wonder if there is a place somewhere where there are people who are not aggressive, hateful, trying to, what they used to call con artists, con you, read you, trick you, overcome you. I'm against you. So-called competition, which is not part of capitalism. That's wrong. Two things that you can immediately say that are wrong about capitalism as they teach it in the universities: trying to get money. Capitalism means we're trying to get a profit. No, that's wrong. And competition. We're doing competition. The only way you could have competition, which 50 years ago or 100 years ago was called the merit system, would be if you had an honest system. You can't have fraud and cheating and lying and every type of weird, wrong type of dishonest thing going on in a merit system. So they haven't had a merit system in about at least half a century. Talking to you. I am not going to write this as a book. This is only going to be 15-minute videos on my website, mikehayne.com, or YouTube. I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV since 1977. I have tried every once in a while to scroll through the channels, and it's terrible. I would say that's what I'm talking about. Living among the other people, constant. It's terrible. There's a whole science to that. But that comes from the TV. In my 2004 book, American Puritanism, I called it TV sickness. And TV sickness means that the person has not read any books. Even if you go to college, you're really not studying, you really don't. You look at the TV and you watch the half-hour comedy skits or the hour dramas, and that's what you think, oh, look how that guy does it. He's handsome and tall, and he's the star of the show. And you learn from the TV, but there's a problem. If you learn by watching TV, you're going to be stupid, sexually perverted, and mentally ill. So we have this gigantic population out here of people going, ah. It's like one of those movies. I've never watched any of these slasher movies or anything. I had a friend who was actually so mentally crazy, he would watch Friday the 13th and root for the guy that's stabbing the teenagers. I've never watched those, but I did watch one from 1960 called Night of the Living Dead. And it just begins with you walk outside and the people just shuffling. Well, that's what's happened to the United States over the past century, based on the TV. And it makes it hard to live with others. Now, in talking to you in these 15-minute videos, I will describe, I've been writing them down here, episodes that occurred in my life from the age of 5, growing up in a wonderful family, a wonderful environment. In those days, in the 1960s, my father actually had done the American dream. He had worked. He had gone to college. He had bettered himself. But to think you could do that now, as George Carlin said, it's the American dream, because you'd have to be asleep to believe it. So there's a whole science to this. But I was 5. I still remember sitting on the swings in the backyard of our house in Poughkeepsie, New York. Beautiful, beautiful, brand new house. $8,000 in 1960. And thinking, it's over. I gotta go to school tomorrow. From the age of 5 to the age of 23 in Texas, I was a mentally juvenile delinquent. After my mother died, she died at the age of 19, and I was arrested by the Houston police, put in what they used to call a halfway house, which meant you were halfway in jail or halfway out. And I was a juvenile delinquent, and they took me to a Baptist church Sunday service. And they baptized me, and they do this thing, you're wearing your clothes, and the pastor is in the pool. It was a set-up pool. It wasn't any kind of thing, just like the regular kind of pool that a person would have in the backyard. And I'm in there with him, and he dunks me under the water. He says, do you make a commitment that you believe in the scriptures and that you are going to be good from now on? And he was such a great, what they call a pastor in the Baptist church. The way he explained it, me, a big juvenile delinquent, I went along with it. So in 1977 until now, I've been following the 10 Commandments. Boy, in the United States, that doesn't get you anywhere. You should join the mafia or something. I've been good. Where's my pie? Well, we don't give pie out to people that have been good. So from 5 to 23, maybe I was spoiled, maybe I was stupid, but I went out and I did. I've written down these things here. Each one. I've got 39 of them here. The Ferguson incident, 1977, Houston. That's an amazing story. But I don't watch the Poughkeepsie train, 1966, New York. Sex and Violence, 1966, Poughkeepsie. They were telling the 12-year-old boys. I can't even tell these stories. Each one would take 15 minutes, and I'm in a very dire situation as being sick, old, poor, alone. I never got married. That's a story, but I'm not homosexual. I'm in dire situation, but I'm gonna try my best. The people are good, but I don't watch TV. I haven't seen TV in years, but I watch YouTube. And on YouTube, you can find retired professors, different reports, media people who are doing commentaries, and you can get a gist of what's going on. And it's amazing. It's frightening, it's amazing, but I'm going to try in my old age to keep going and to do it, talking to you. I'm going to tell the stories.